It's 9:25 a.m. on a gorgeous Monday morning. The date is the 7th of April 2045, and I do hope that you're all having a great commute to work today. This morning we're going to talk about an interesting subject which is something of a big problem in our Malaysian society. Today folks, we're going to talk about our nation's critical brain drain. Well, a little bit of a history lesson to get things started. Since the late 1990s, nearly 50 years ago, the trend has been for the best Malaysian students who after high school would continue their university education in lands abroad. From there, a majority of them would choose to stay on to pursue their career in those countries, most of them giving up their Malaysian citizenship and migrating permanently. At first, it was only the well-to-do families who could afford to send their kids abroad to study. Then scholarships became abundant and more doors were opened to these talented students. In 2020, the Malaysia economy boomed and an overseas education was affordable for a majority of the nation. In 2044, a worrying 80% of the top students migrated away from Malaysia. It's 2045 this year, so do call in and let's hear your view, folks. We want to hear why you personally think these students are doing what they're doing, what's so attractive about the nation outside of Malaysia, and what does this spell for the future of Malaysia. So call us now at 04457 Hello caller, you're on the air.
Good morning. I am a Malaysian who studied in Western Australia from 2012 to 2016. And after that period, I choose to come home to Malaysia.
Wow, that's a pretty rare case in this day and age. So how was Australia and what made you come back, sir?
While in Australia, the natives of the land were engaged in a personal journey called a walkabout. It is a rite of passage during which they will undergo a journey to live in the wilderness for a period of time as a transition from their youth to adulthood. I too did a walkabout in the urban landscapes of Western Australia. That was my wilderness, that was my rite of passage that turned me from a boy into a man.
Oh, okay, so you did not like Australia. That's why you chose to leave?
On the contrary, the country was beautiful and enchanting.
Well, it seems you really lived it there. So what made you decide to come back?
When I reached the end of my walkabout, I realized that although everything seemed perfect over there, just one thing was missing. And that was the most important thing of all. It was missing home. All my senses were overwhelmed with how perfect everything was. But that feeling of home, the very link to my soul, was missing.
What do you mean by that, sir?
It's hard to explain in words, but if I had to use words, the only ones that come close are these. My soul was linked to Malaysia, the only place I will ever truly call home. So to all of you Malaysians out there who are having your very own walkabout in foreign land, please enjoy it and embrace it to the fullest. But please remember, Malaysia is home and we are all one family. That is the strongest link of all.
Thanks, caller, for your view. By the way, we forgot to ask you for your name. Wait a minute. Your voice sounds very familiar. Mr. Prime Minister?